Amendment 360, who's in favour? Who's against? Who abstains? Rejected. Amendment 78, who's in favour? Who's against? Who abstains? Adopted. 361D, who is in favour? Who's against? Who abstains? Rejected. Amendment 362, who's in favour? Who is against? Who abstains? Rejected. Amendment 363D, who is in favour? Who is against? Who abstains? Rejected. Ms. Irache García Pérez, you want to take the floor at this point?
Sí, presidenta. Pediríamos una interrupción de 3 minutos sin salir de aquí del hemiciclo, pero mi grupo necesita hacer una última consulta para determinar el voto final. No, pues votamos en contra.
Dear colleagues, 3 minutes starting now. Dear colleagues, if a group asks for a break, we give a break. If you had asked for a break, I would give you a break as well. I think the 3 minutes are up. 3 big minutes are up. Dear colleagues, I think we are ready to vote now, dear colleagues. Dear colleagues, can I please ask you to take your seats? Dear colleagues, please, I ask you to take your seats now. This is a real parliament. Can you please take your seats in order for you to be able to vote? There are many of you still not in your seats, and I think you want to vote on this file. Okay. Okay, this was a little bit more than 3 minutes. So, dear colleagues, we now vote on the Commission proposal by roll call, and I open the vote. Still many colleagues not voting. I'm going to close the vote now. Vote is closed, and it is rejected.
Reconsideration.
Mr. Liese, please, dear colleagues, I would like to give the floor to the rapporteur. Mr. Peter Liese, you have the floor. Please, dear colleagues, listen to the rapporteur. This took a lot of time. Go ahead, Peter.
So, thank you, President. Of course, this is a bad day for the European Parliament. When you see... Yeah. So, yes,
Dear colleagues, please allow the rapporteur, who has worked for a long time on this file.
Please calm down, colleagues. I think it's a shame, like in many occasions in this report, that the far right and the Socialists and the Greens voted together. But of course, it's.
Please, dear colleagues, let the rapporteur speak.
We are now giving a lot of responsibility to the European Council. The Council will be definitely earlier than the European Parliament, and that will reduce our influence. But we have the possibility, dear colleagues, we have the possibility to save the thing. If everybody thinks twice, I look at ECR, you succeeded with a lot of votes, but still you voted against. I don't see an explanation here. I look at the Greens and the S&D, you voted against, even though all the compromises that we made at Envi stage, where EPP was a part. Hello, calm down, where EPP was a part, we have succeeded. But those points where you thought that a narrow majority with 4 votes in Envi can dominate the parliament, you lost. And democracy means... Calm down, please. So democracy means to respect the parliament and to have a reduction of the damage. A reduction of the damage, to give it a second trial. And all those that voted against today can think twice. I would ask to refer it back to committee. Please don't kill the ETS. Vote for bringing it back to committee to have a second thought. Thank you.
Okay. Dear colleagues, you have a request by the rapporteur on whether this file is referred back to committee. Mr. Lamberts, did you want to take the floor? Dear colleagues, this is in the right of the rapporteur to request. We gave you all your time to reflect, you voted, and now you have a request as to whether you want to reconsider this back in committee. Now, I see that you can vote, and I will ask you to vote by roll call to refer back to committee. Vote is open. Back to committee. There are many colleagues who have not voted yet. Okay, I'm going to close the vote, even though colleagues not everybody voted. And there is a vote in favour of going back to committee. Mr. Lamberts, the chair of the Green Group, would like to take the floor. You have a point of order, Mr. Lamberts? Go ahead. Dear colleagues, can you listen to your colleague?
Oui. Merci, Madame la Présidente. Je voudrais m'adresser aux collègues et en particulier au rapporteur, Monsieur Liese. J'ai bien entendu sa frustration et aussi curieux que ça puisse paraître, je la partage. Je me rappelle au début du traitement de ce paquet Fit for 55 au Parlement européen, j'ai à de multiples reprises proposé que les groupes politiques pro-européens de ce Parlement travaillent ensemble de manière structurée pour précisément éviter ce genre de scénario. Et je constate, mon message est très simple. Mon message est très simple. Si vous voulez des majorités pro-européennes solides, pro-climat solides, ça se construit. Et ça ne s'improvise pas. Et donc, nous sommes prêts à travailler avec vous pour y arriver. Merci.
Dear colleagues, a number of group leaders have asked to be given the floor. Manfred Weber first, please, and then Stefan, but quickly we have more files to vote on. Manfred, go ahead.
Philip, I really respect you very much. You know this. I respect everyone. But sorry, pro-European majorities in this chamber means not automatically Green and Socialist majority in this chamber. Let me be clear on this. Let me be clear on this. And that's why. And that's why we voted today on content. And there was a majority in this chamber, clearly expressed by the chamber. And I tell you, yeah, and I tell you at the end of the vote, when we gave, at the end of the votes, when we had the chance to give green light for the start of the trialogue, it is a reality in this House that Socialists, Greens, Left voted together with far right against the proposal of the majority of this Parliament. That's a reality. That's why don't change the history. That's not fair.
Thank you, Mr. Weber. I have Stéphane Séjourné, I have Irache Garcia Perez and Manon Aubry. Stéphane, go ahead.
Merci Madame la Présidente. Juste un mot pour dire qu'à la fois je partage la préoccupation du président du groupe des Verts de travailler ensemble sur ce texte et de construire quelque chose en format majorité avec les pro-européens. Je suis dans une situation différente de la vôtre. Nous partagions l'ambition, mais nous avons fait le choix tactique d'aller voter pour ce texte et ne pas nous mêler aux voix de l'extrême droite pour le rejet de ce texte. Mais nous partagions l'ambition. Donc, Madame la Présidente, nous aurons un texte. Retour en commission, travaillerons sur ce texte. Je veux effectivement qu'il y ait une majorité pro-européenne. L'ambition est importante. La législation qu'on porte touche 450 millions de citoyens sur une période de 30 ans avec des objectifs importants. Donc, nous travaillerons ensemble avec l'ensemble des groupes pro-européens qui sont capables de trouver un compromis. Merci.
Thank you, Irache. And then Manon.
Gracias, presidenta. Lo primero, creo que es importante y es bueno que rebajemos emociones y tensión. Hay que poner a la política, se le pone corazón, pero también tranquilidad. Vamos a volver a trabajar desde la Comisión Parlamentaria para intentar construir una posición común coherente. Y, por favor, no nos hagamos trampas al solitario. Si el Grupo Socialista ha votado en contra, es porque había una mayoría en determinados temas que algunos han sacado con enmiendas con la extrema derecha. Por eso hemos tenido que votar en contra. No pueden pedir el voto a la extrema derecha para rebajar las ambiciones y luego pedirnos a nosotros que votemos eso. Por lo tanto, vamos a ser coherentes.
Can I give the floor next to Manon? Can I give the floor to Manon Aubry? And then we go to the next file.
Merci Madame la Présidente. Clairement, je crois qu'on est en train d'assister à un exercice d'hypocrisie le plus total de la part de la droite. Qui, messieurs du PPE, a voté avec l'extrême droite? Qui a voté avec l'extrême droite pour donner du pouvoir aux lobbies et repousser la fin des quotas gratuits? Qui, aujourd'hui, est responsable du reniement en matière climatique? C'est bien vous. Alors oui, nous avons fait le choix de travailler ensemble avec les Verts, de travailler ensemble avec les socialistes et surtout de travailler ensemble avec la société civile pour avoir un niveau d'ambition au niveau climatique. Vous porterez la honte de ce vote dans les prochaines années. Et oui, nous travaillerons parce que, rappelez-vous les amis, chers collègues, que le vote de la commission Envi, lui, portait la fin des quotas gratuits à l'année 2030. Alors travaillons avec la commission Envi pour revenir à ce niveau d'ambition parce que clairement, on ne pourra plus attendre 30 ans.
Dear colleagues, now that everybody is calm, do we go to the next file? Asita Kanko, you want to speak on behalf of the ECR? Go ahead. How many minutes do you want?
Thank you very much, Madam President. I hope you can hear me. I would like to say that in this house of democracy, please refer to people by their group name. Do not look at this side of the parliament and call us far right. I am not a far right politician. I agree with Ms. Irache that we need to find coherent agreements. That's why we're here. Do not call me far right, do not call us far right. This is respect. This is also for you, Mr. Weber. I like you very much, but please don't do this anymore. And your colleague, please, Ms. Aubry, we have names.
Thank you, Ms. Kanko. So, can we go to the next vote? We were doing good with time, but now it's all over with our schedule. So we vote next on the report by David Casa and Esther